Okay, so I think in terms of Toastmasters of the evening, right, maybe I just start off by why I feel Toastmasters of the evening is one of the most important role in Toastmasters, right? I think a lot of times, right, we learn about table topics, right? We learn about prepared speech. We learn about evaluation. But a lot of those things are really not in the moment type of impromptu, if you understand what I mean. It always like a thinking kind of impromptu because there is no feedback one. Whereas for Toastmasters of the evening, it's so good because it trains you to feel the room. It trains you to get the gauge of the energy in the room. It trains you to observe people to see who are the people that you need to engage, who are the people that becomes your friend. And I think it's very important for us to first understand that, sometimes we see Toastmasters of the evening, right? We always have this mold. Okay, Toastmasters of the evening is like, they come up, welcome everybody, and now let me begin by sharing a little bit about the history of Toastmasters, and then it goes into the three roles, and then it becomes a more like what a TME is going to be. But for the purpose of this particular session, when I share with you guys, I want you guys to remove the mold of this Toastmasters of the evening style, because it is so much more important to discover you in that process of becoming a Toastmasters of the evening. Okay, so just remove, especially people like Leonard Yee, you guys have done, or maybe Swan, you have done a Toastmasters of the evening before. And because we always have this fixed, rigid structure in our mind, how we do Toastmasters of the evening, it limits your creativity. And I'm sure you guys have seen how I do my Toastmasters of the evening. Very different, right? Sometimes I will just pick something and just throw it out. And you look at Christopher today, he's also very different because we have been trained to be in the moment. And today, you guys need to have that level of appreciation. Okay, so I give a can hear anything sound effect no
Can.
okay, good. Just try to experiment using Toastmasters as a basis. Okay, so let's start off by what do you need to do as a Toastmasters of the evening. So I see there are two parts of Toastmasters of the evening. A lot of people they see as one part only, but I see it as two parts. The first part is you need to know the Toastmasters protocol. That one you cannot escape. Okay, you need to know the Toastmasters protocol. That's the first part. And everyone only focus on this. Okay, but today I challenge you to look at the other side, which is your creative expression. How do you express yourself creatively? And that is really up to you. Okay, so let's focus on the first part first. Let's get that out of the way. And then later I'll share with you three key principles for you to always have the back of your mind. And I can promise you, once you have these three key principles, immediately your Toastmasters evening game truly increase already. Okay, so let's start with the Toastmasters protocol first. Okay, so let's go to here. Okay, so as a Toastmaster evening, right, we know that okay, this one you guys need to know because sometimes presidential opening, the president will invite Toastmasters of the evening if he forgot about her toast, right? And sometimes they say, oh, I now hand over to the Toastmaster evening. So when you are being called in the moment, but actually we look into the time, right? 8:16 is supposed to be toast ceremony. So it's not supposed to be you. But if people hand to you, right, you as a Toastmaster evening need to take control. All right, and now I'd like to invite the first session. So you have to play, you have to listen and observe lah, in a way, right? You cannot be like, oh, sorry, I think you need to invite the toast. Then it's not proper already lah. So as toast we need to always be on our feet. Okay, then you go into the basic opening, okay, the protocol opening. First, you need to give a brief history of Toastmasters, but it's very boring stuff. Okay, and this is where your creative expression comes in. What does 1924 reminds you of? What does 2014 reminds you of? Then that is where your creativity comes in. Okay? Don't just stick to the usual script, very boring. And then another thing is, you guys, because remember I mentioned, right, what is the first rule before we start this session? Can you remember? The first rule I told you guys to remove, what's that?
Think of the box.
TME.
Huh? Go ahead. Go ahead. What's the first rule just now? Just now I mentioned one. Before let's remove
The boxes.
All the
remove your mold.
The mold.
Remove your mold, right?
Yeah.
Okay, remove your mold. Which means, right, if you see there's no guest there, then drop your script. Be prepared to drop your script because you are in the moment. So sometimes you see me, okay, I see that there's no guest today. So maybe I'll just give a one-liner. What is Toastmasters? You guys know already, right? Drop that. Okay, you guys know the flow of the three parts of the Toastmasters meeting, right? You have this, you have this, you have this. Drop that. But a lot of Toastmasters were very prim and proper and coming. Okay, let's talk through. Then as an observer, you like immediately the energy level drop already, because when you are predictable, that is where you lose attention. Okay, so drop, observe. Okay, no need, drop. Okay, so of course, but the bare basic is the mass one, right? Is history of Toastmasters, and I always like to give a history of elite because it uplifts the mood. Okay, and then another thing that you can talk about is the three part of a Toastmasters meeting. Okay, if got guests lah, and then if there's a lot of guests, I will pay extra attention to talk about pathways for better appreciation. Then only I go into the introduction of role player. Okay, so these are the 5 areas that it's a protocol, but again, observe and be prepared to drop your script. That is the key to a strong Toastmasters of the evening. The ability to adapt and adjust based on the timing, because you're really feeling the room. And that's not just this part, right? In the subsequent part, you also can adjust. Okay. Now, after that is the table topics. You guys know, right? Just introduce the table topic master. And then after that, you do the whole transition. Then your role is over already. Okay, your role is over. Again, these are just the protocol. Later we talk about the creative expression. Okay, let's go. Okay, then after that, when you come back, okay, then after that, they invite you up, you do the presentation of certificate, announce the best winner, and all those things. So this is the part where you need to up your energy. Then presentation of certificate, and then after that, invite the president. I think all these are the protocol, but I think it's important for us to kind of run through what the end to end, right? So you have the opening, and then the first part. Of course, you have the introduction of speaker as well. So that one you guys know, right? Invite the evaluator to give the speech purpose, and then after that mention name, title, name. Okay, it's standard protocol. Okay, now let's go into the cool stuff. The cool stuff is the one that I'm very excited to share, because these are the things that will really differentiate you as a Toastmasters of the evening. Let me just get it up. Okay, now I've never shared this before, so this is like the very first few time you guys will learn about this. Okay, the first thing you guys need to know, right? As a Toastmasters of the evening, right? Let's say this is you as a Toastmasters of the evening, right? I hope it's not too small. Anyway, you guys can see, right? While your attention is on all this audience here, right? You need to always have a line of sight of the timing. You need to feel the time, right? Because a good Toastmasters of evening is the guardian of time. You see that we are way behind, drop your script. You see we are in front, then you can play around with your words. You can add hooks, right? Rather than just, okay, now I'd like to invite the next speaker. Rather than just saying this as part of transition, you can say something like, the next speaker reminds me of, then you can play around with because you have the time, right? Just like you look at Juliana, right? Behind her, there's a clock. So she has a line of sight of the clock, right? So her virtual background got the clock, right? So you always need to have a line of sight of the clock, because you are feeling the energy and you feel that, hey, we are late already. Then you need to say, hey, can I just ask you guys if you drop this? I think we're behind time. And then you try to catch up. So your KPI is to end on time. Not the timer's role is just to report time, but your role is to, at least when you reach the break, right, you need to already gauge the time. So for Leonard, later when we start because we are going to be the TME later, right, immediately you gauge the time, then you plan. Okay, not enough time already, I'll just quickly go through. Okay, feel the time. Okay, like for me right now, I'm feeling the time. I'm not sure how long I have. Suwan, if you can remind me.
You have
Can you
9 minutes.
9 minutes.
Okay, 9 minutes. Okay, so this is the first thing that you guys need to think of. The first principle, right? I'll just draw. Okay, hi Minro, thanks for joining me. Okay, I'm going to share the second one. Need to have a sound effect. I like to play all these. Okay. I need to add more. Okay, the second thing that you guys need to remember is, right, let's say, right, this is your Zoom, okay? Okay, so this is your computer screen. This is your audience computer screen, okay? Okay, this is your computer screen. Your energy level, okay, will dilute one. Yeah, just do it again. Oops. Okay, so when you speak at this level, you will always dilute at this level because of technology. Whatever you say, your energy will be reduced by 30%. Like it or not, it will be reduced by 30%. So how do you counter that? You add 30%. So that whatever the other place, the person will feel more energy compared to your usual self. And it's a very tiring thing. So you think about, like, I always start like, hi guys, welcome to Elite Toastmasters Club meeting. And in today's meeting, keep adding the energy, because when you reach to your audience, it will be diluted. Move more, speak louder, be more expressive, be more direct, be more conversational, right? So rather than, I know Leonard, this is probably something that you can practice on, because Leonard is very structured one. So he will say that, okay, firstly, let me begin by introducing the three parts of today's meeting. So in the first part, we will have think about the corridor, right? When you walk past corridor, you see a person, you don't talk like that to them, like, hey, I'm going to share with you 3 things. You don't do that one. You just go direct. Hey, I share with you 3 things. So you need to be more direct, because you're not giving a full sentence, right? You just go there and say that, hello guys, welcome to Elite Toastmasters Cup meeting. Let me start. There are 3 parts in the Toastmasters meeting. The first, the second, the third. In the first, we do this. In the second, we do this. And lastly, we receive feedback. Are you guys ready? So sentence construction is secondary. Accurate grammar is also secondary, okay? But being direct, impactful, punchy is more important. You are not there to give a speech. You are there to carry the crowd. Okay, so add 30% expression. That's the second thing. Okay, which lead me to the third thing. This one is also a game changer. If you can do this, you are a damn good TME. But before that, so far I share okay, right? You guys can comprehend? Is it okay? Do you
Okay.
feel it's like, wow, never thought about this. I'm so eager to try. If you think you are that, I will put your name and give to Mingyan to do to allocate you Toastmasters of the evening role, especially for Jingman and Juliana. Okay, the third one, also very important. Okay, the third one that's very important is this. You are not there to create energy. Okay, think about that. You are not there to create energy. Energy doesn't come from you. Okay, this is very eye-opening one. Okay, energy doesn't come from you. Energy comes through you. So think about yourself as the power plant. You know power plant. You know the power plant. It doesn't create energy. Right? It transmits energy. It takes 10%, transmit to 30%. Energy flow through you. So you are not there to, ladies and gentlemen, we are here today. Are you happy? You are not there to do these kind of things. But what I mean by you are not creating energy, but you are creating energy through you is you are picking events, you are picking relevant incidences, you are picking names, you are picking content from your audience to turn it around and give back to them. If you notice when I do TME, right, I don't, okay, of course I will create my own content, but most of the time, right, especially in between speakers, I will always say that, Leonard, thank you so much for sharing that speech. And when you say that, I immediately thought about Minwoo when Minwoo shared about this. You see, I'm transmitting energy. Okay, and I say that, Jingman, you shared this speech, very touching, but what a beautiful twist at the end. And definitely, I know, Diane, you something that you will be eager to do that. So you see, you're always taking content from people. Okay, I give you an example, right? If somebody give a speech about family, we are very eager to share our point of view and share our content, right? We always say that, okay, thank you so much for sharing this. I feel that, as a family, blah, 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 but you're not a speaker, you're a Toastmaster of the evening, right? But you can say, definitely people like Joanna and Ashley, you guys have kids. I'm sure you can resonate with this story. You see, it's not about me, right? I just channel the energy to them. So if you have the ability to manage this kind of energy, right, I can tell you, you as a Toastmaster evening, you appear more, you have more charisma because you are not telling people about yourself, but you are making people feel good. And that you can watch my podcast episode number 11. I remember. Okay, so always think about that, right? Leonard, for you later when you do TME, right? Strive to don't give content, but take speaker 1, connect with speaker 2. Okay, when speaker 2 speak, when speaker 3 speak, pick speaker 3, connect with speaker 1 and 2. Or pick some known facts about your audience that you can bring it up. Like we all know Minvu is a funny guy. We know Yi is our energizer bunny. We know Diane is our mama bear. Right? We know Joanna is a mother of 2. Bring that relevancy into your narrative. Don't need to create new things. Okay? Try it, right? It's okay if you are stuck, but you need to try to observe, think, anticipate responses. So when the speaker 1 is speaker 2 is speaking, you are already anticipating, okay, what is the response I can give to this person? And then once you caught it ready, then you'll be very eager to tell it out, because that really brings out the whole charisma. Okay, so I'm just going to share these 3. Of course, there are a lot more, but if I can summarize, it's these 3 things. Let's see what I have. Okay, another thing is, maybe I give another tips here, right? Another tips here. Okay, you guys don't have this sound effect. Okay, so energy is lost in transition. Energy is lost in transition. It could be technological transition. It could be when me handing over to the next speaker. Energy will be lost. So if I want to hand over to, let's say, Min as the next speaker, right, Minvu? Our next speaker, please join me to welcome Toastmasters Minvu, the speech title, My Wife. Okay, then you clap first, then you mute. Because that is energy. Okay? You want to have that sound of the clap. And then when Minvu finish speaking, hand over to you, unmute yourself, clap first, then start talking. So the transition is being managed already. Right? Because then the energy is always uplifted. Okay, that is another tips that I can give. Okay, so if I can summarize, because I think we have 1 minute plus left. If I can summarize it, right?
We have 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. Maybe extend 3 more minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So I give a quick summary and then we can have a quick Q&A. Okay. So if I can summarize it, Toastmasters.evening is not a predefined role, but it is who you are as a communicator. It's how you express yourself. Use the Toastmasters program protocol as a template, but infuse your own style. Okay. Find different ways of delivering. Pick some nice quotes and stuff like that. And then I just share 3 things for you to build upon. Number first is you must always have the line of sight of the time. Be courageous to drop your script. You will appear more respectable if you're able to do that, and yet maintain the same level of energy and enthusiasm. Okay, that's first thing. Always have a line of sight of the time. Feel the time. Okay. Secondly is your energy will be lost in the transition, technological transition, speaker transition. So at 30% more expression, 30% more hand gesture, 30% more vocal variety, more direct, more conversational, more punchy. Okay, that's the second one. The third one is don't add content, pick and reroute the content. And that is from few areas you can do. First, based on what the speaker has mentioned, based on a current event that is relevant. Okay, somebody's birthday, like Joanna's birthday is yesterday, right? So, wow, that speech is like a gift to me. How nice if you can deliver it yesterday because it's Joanna's birthday. Have people feel good already? Okay, a relevant and recent event. Okay. Now, third thing is a known fact of the audience. Pick something from the audience, say it out, then automatically you will get the connection. So these are the 3 things you can do almost immediately. Okay, so let's take a quick question and answer if you guys have any. Do you have any?
Juliana.
Yes, I have a question. So I always struggle with this, how you keep sight of time, and then you're also at the same time listening to your audience, and you want to also be just mindful about everything, because while I'm looking at the time, I'm also like trying to listen. So how do you do that effectively? Is there like a secret to it?
Okay, so every night, right? You take the clock, you put inside the water, you boil it, then you drink the clock. Okay. Yeah, it took a second. Okay, actually, right, when you are in the moment, you don't have to take track of the time. When you're in scene, you don't have to take track of time. When you're out of scene, when the other speaker is speaking, just check on the time. Okay, we're on time. We are not on time. And I say, okay, looks like I anticipate because we start 5 minutes late, this speaker start 5 minutes late. I'm expecting 5 minutes later. Okay, where can I cut? Okay, when those table topic, the most common time loss area is table topics.
Mm.
So when you see table topics, then you gauge during your off screen, not on screen. On screen is only when you are a speaker. Okay, so that is what I will advise you. Means it must be a habit, and this will help a lot in your workplace as well, especially when you are managing a meeting. You'll be extra careful
I
right
see.
sometimes. Then my team are always very stressed when we are planning event because I'm extra strict one because of those masters training. Okay, good question. Any other question?
Chen Choon, I have a question. What if you cannot find any words to describe a speaker? Then how
Okay.
would you approach it? Would you
Transition is it?
transition? If let's
Okay.
say suddenly I'm lost of words, I don't know what to say about that speaker.
The first thing that you must not say is thank you. I hate those masters of evening that say thank you. Every speaker, thank you for sharing the wonderful speech. Next speaker come up, thank you for sharing the inspiring speech. Because you don't go into that habit. When you go into that habit, right, you are not being creative. Okay, so that's the first rule. Because if you don't know what to say, you always fall back to the easy route, which is thank you. But now, if you don't say thank you, automatically you will be able to come up with new things to say. Right? So, for instance, if let's say if you have nothing to say, then be unpredictable, because that will capture attention. So if let's say someone give a speech already, right, I say, I was so inspired by the speech, but I forgot to remember things. So I just say that, wow, pin drop silent. That is the hallmark of a great speech. And now for the next speaker, something like that. Be unpredictable. And then maybe you speak about something that I don't know what to summarize. I just say, I was so drawn to your speech that I forget how to transition. But I will still transition anyway. And our next speaker. Okay, so if you don't know what to say, try to not say thank you. Not to say I hate it, but it really limits your, because when you say thank you for sharing the wonderful speech, then you can only talk about that speech being wonderful, being inspirational. And we have 5 seconds left. Okay, I hope you guys have fun. Let's do a very quick debrief. So Leonard has done the TME. Maybe just some immediate reaction, immediate thoughts, right, from Leonard. What do you feel after your role?
I feel it's a mixed feeling. I think I done well in some parts. Some parts I didn't do so well.
Okay. Do you have any specifics that we want to bring it up to discuss so that everyone can learn?
Especially, I think the thing that I did not do well is the procedural part. I completely forgot. I have to do speaker, title, speaker. So next time, I think need to remember this. And the introduction of role players as well. Because I thought there's no guest today. That's why because I don't have enough time. It's only,
it's fine.
My session is around 6 minutes plus.
Okay, I think it's fine. I think because we also throw new things into the equation. So of course you will be shaken a little bit, and I think that's fine. A lot of us, right, we will be in our mold, right? But it takes this kind of things that just push you a bit for you to reshape again. So you are at the reshaping. So I think it's fine. I think most important is the awareness that you missed it, right? So just you take it like, okay, it's a good experiment ground. A few things, maybe I can just kind of share a few things. I felt in terms of the minimum you have really got the minimum. Like people, they transition well. They know what is next. You introduce a speaker, and you kind of attempted a little bit creativity in terms of your transition. Whether you do it consciously or unconsciously, I don't know. But I felt, as a speaker, when we are given the platform, we need to try to be different, right? It's not about whether you're different means good or bad, but you just need to have that attitude lah. Okay. So I thought that those things are good. A few things I want to check with you. I noticed that when you went to the first speaker, it was kind of like on the dot, the first speaker. Were you delaying time so that you can get to that spot or what?
It's actually when I get into the first speaker, I was delaying time so that I can think of what to say. So it was a conscious decision, I would say, just to delay a few seconds to think of
When you say think what to say, what do you mean?
think how should I describe Juliana when I
Okay.
try.
Okay. So I think it's okay for us to when we are over time, then you want to catch up. But when you have a lot of time, you don't have to wait and like okay, I mean if in terms of timing wise, right? As a Toastmaster evening for you guys, right? You don't have to purposely slow down because you know you have time, right? You just go at your normal pace and pull the brakes when it's pull the brake as in speed up when it's it's better to get a speeding ticket than a parking ticket. So
Oh yeah, another thing is I was caught aback when I asked a question. Remember in my speech, when I talk about the history of the crowd, I actually asked a series of questions. So when I asked the first question, nobody answered. So if you remember, I actually attempted a few times to ask people to answer, to unmute themselves and answer, and nobody answered. So it's quite.
I'm not sure. Are you on the speaker view or are you on your gallery view just now? Are you on your speaker
Gallery
view where
view.
you
I
see yourself?
actually switch into gallery view so that I can ask people to
Because
unmute
I
themselves and
think
answer.
Minion actually give you some response. And then he sort of wanted to answer your question, but then I'm not sure whether you missed him out. So you say, oh, there's no response. Say,
No, I
actually,
wanted
Minion,
them to like unmute and answer so that I can catch.
okay.
So you actually,
So
yeah.
So I
think
think
Generate.
on that, right, Leonard, just a little bit of my opinion is you can actually give them a very specific action. Okay, you can unmute yourself and respond, or you can use the chat, or you can use a reaction. So you give people option, you give very specific how you want that response to be. Yeah.
okay. So I think building on that, maybe I shared. Remember, just now I shared 3 things for you guys, right? So you guys have learned 3 things. Let me share more things for you guys to get, at least some bullets that you guys can use. So Leonard, the reason why people don't respond to you is because you have not created the rapport. When you begin, especially Toastmaster evening, right? The first 2-3 minutes is all about building rapport. It's not about executing a task. My name is Leonard, I'm TME. It's more like, going, hi guys, you guys have fun? So I can see that, hey, Juliana, you're wearing such a bright color. Immediately I was shown you. Then you just mention people's name. Right. So Suwan, you're in, Christopher, Right. So are you guys ready? Then you kind of, connect with everyone ready. Okay, first question. How many of you here know that? Okay, because you need to connect before you ask a question, right? Connect before you converse, right? So that is one thing that you guys can do. Mention as many names as you can in the early part of your Toastmasters of the evening. Because when I speak in front of camera, I'm not getting a feedback from you. When you listen to me, you are not getting a feedback from me. But when I say that, wow, I can see Leonard, very long time no see. So now you're getting a feedback, you nodding back to me, I'm getting a feedback, then we build a rapport. Then I want to pick another person, get everyone on board at the same page, then you begin. Okay, let's begin. First question, bam, what is the. And then you want the first question to be an easy one. Don't give a hard one. Right? Raise your hand if you are feeling good today. They anchor already, they are comfortable already. Okay, wonderful. Now raise your hand if you know about Toastmasters. Then because people get an action rate. So here are some tips for you guys as a Toastmasters of the evening. Okay, so that's the first one. The second thing that I noticed, Leonard, for you, right? You like to ask yourself a question. Oh, why do I say that? Right? You say that, I'm feeling very excited today. Why do I say that? And then you say that Toastmasters is a positive environment. Now, why do I say that? So you don't want to do those kind of questions. Don't add questioning to yourself, because then you're kind of diluting your message. Just go straight to the point now. Toastmasters is a positive.
Rhetorical kind of question.
Yeah, you don't have to ask those kind of questions, I feel. Especially when people ask you like, Leonard, where do you want to eat? where do I want to eat? So you don't need to answer the question, just answer, okay? But anyway, these are just minor observation. Another skill that I want to give you guys for you guys to take back is, so just how we had the mention name to lock one. The other one is, you can, in between the speaker, right, you can express what you feel, but try to express it from an audience point of view, because you want them to have that reflection as well. Like, Diane is damn good in this, right? So during transition, instead of saying that, when I listen to your speech, I feel the importance of, mentoring. It's like, I don't do that. Just say that, ladies and gentlemen, don't you agree that when you hear that kind of speech, you feel so much grateful for your mentor? You see, I'm getting the audience into my transition. Again, you are, that you are the nuclear reactor, you are the power transmitter, you are not the power generator. So you want to say, did you notice how Suwan shared that story? Right? Do you notice how he brought us to the whole scene? And I felt it's just so amazing, right? You want to involve the audience. This is to maintain the connection that you have created. Okay. Okay, so if you guys want more, just let me know. If you guys have any question at this point, any question?
I noticed Leonard actually directly apply what you shared just now, the energy, right? It seems like a different Leonard from the previous Leonard of TME.
Yeah, the energy
I try
was
try.
hello, hello.
I try.
Try. Good try.
Oh, that was good as well.
I
indeed.
totally agree. It's like an instant transformation. It's
Yeah.
like plastic
Immediate.
surgery that Leonard and go through a plastic surgery, change. I was like, this is Leonard. Seriously, Leonard? Asking questions and engaging the audience and then hello was like,
Okay, so this is a different mold already, lah. You are remolding yourself.
Yeah.
Leonard, you had a question just now?
Yeah. When you say engaging the audience, right? Like you start the speech by calling people names, other people's names.
Mm.
So how do we do it naturally? Because it might seem very artificial for us to start saying, for example, hey, Swan, how are you doing? It
You
doesn't.
start with Yi. Okay, rule number one, you start with Yi. She will just respond to you.
Okay, so I think in terms
Roger that. I'll do that also.
okay, so you are our, that we don't have the
leader.
gavel, now because it's virtual, right? So Yi is our gavel. We just, Yi, how are you? I'm doing great. Like to call the meeting to order. Okay, so to answer you, Leonard, right? When I said you connect to the audience, right, you are not connecting one-on-one. You're not like, hey, Suwan, how are you? You're not doing that. But you are connecting the collective audience. Because you get 5 people mentioned, right? Automatically the audience is on your side already. So you want to do it naturally, very simple, right? You can just say that, okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin. So as you can see today in this room, we have, then you look at the participants. We have 30 people, a mixture of guests, right? Guests so high, all the guests. Don't want to say everything, say a few names. Oh, then after that, okay, we also have Minu before, it's so long never see you. So welcome to this meeting, and I'm sure today is going to be a wonderful meeting. So you just mention 1, 2, 3 names of that. Then you can move on. Then automatically the audience is on your side already. So it's not a direct, how are you? Or Juliana, how are you? It's more like, hey, Juliana is very so bright today. Just make sure during the timer, don't be there. If not, I feel that it's going to be the amber light. Yeah, but I have to mention all her name. So that is the beginning of the power transmitter, transformer. Okay, that is one. Anyone else on it?
Just the other notice from Leonard, right, is you initially change that different level of Leonard, but I believe you don't strategize that toward the end before the start of the first speaker. So I'll notice that. Perhaps also keep an end in mind. How can I transition with that level of energy to the first speaker? So you can kind of raise the atmosphere of the room. Are you ready? We only have 3 speakers, but 3 is a powerful number. Are you ready? So this kind of energy transition into that introducing speaker.
Do we have a best speaker award later? Do you all know?
We don't have today. We have no voting. Yes.
Okay. Will Leonard have any more role after this?
I think no more. I think it's the closing speech ready.
Yeah.
Okay.
No more.
So after that is Suwan, your presidential closing, right?
Rachel will do that closing.
Rachel will do the closing. Who will pass to Rachel?
Me, myself.
Okay, so after this end already, Suwan, you take over, right?
Yes.
Do you have any special message that you want to share? If not, I want to give Leonard the opportunity to introduce somebody, and then let's experiment that.
Sure. I'll pass to Leonard lah. I will say Leonard have something to say.
No, it's okay. It means after when we go back, right?
Okay.
After we go back and do this, yeah, we go back. Okay, Leonard, this is what you do, right? You said, okay, I want you to give your whole energy, right? We want to see you do this, right? Okay, so you want after that finish it, we go back already. So Leonard, you just say that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I'm sure you guys learned a lot. And now I hand over the control to Suwan. Just do something like this, just to get
try.
you. Huh?
I'll
Okay.
try. Okay.
Okay, so it's something like, every time I want to introduce the best speaker goes to. So I want you to be comfortable with that, right? Build that new mold inside you. So later we just do this, then pass to Suwan, and I don't know, Suwan, you have anything to say? If not, Leonard just pass straight to Rachel lah. Okay, so Leonard, okay, just say welcome back. I'm sure you guys learned a lot. And to close it off, please join me to welcome for the session closing. Please join me to welcome whatever lah.
Okay.
Okay, just try
So
it
I will
out.
start first lah. Afterwards, I'll try lah. I'll try to instill the energy.
Correct, because what Suwan mentioned is right lah. You have the energy, but you also need the energy when you pass the transition, right? Like when you introduce, and now join me to welcome Min Vu.
I love the clapping.
Because this energy is something that I artificially bump up. It's not something that comes naturally. It's not the usual way when I speak. So
yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah, so it takes energy lah to.
Correct. It's your unexplored voice lah. It's not wrong. It's just unexplored. And I need you to build more versatility and agility when it comes to speaking. And if this you have not done before, then let's do it, right? And of course, Juliana, I will also hold you accountable for a TME role. So don't hide behind. So just when you're ready, just tell Mingyan that, hey, give me the TME role and then practice all this. And then again, because you are in my session, I will also try to observe.
Yeah.
Okay. So Leonard, deal lah. Leonard, Juliana, deal lah. You guys. You guys told me something. Okay, so Leonard, after this, you have to do the thank you. Hope you guys have fun and join me to welcome for closing. And then pause, build the crescendo, pause, then only you say out the name. After that, people will think like, is this Leonard? Is this Leonard or somebody else? Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, I think we still have time. If you guys want to share anything or any questions, or you guys want more stuff, then I will try to throw in one or two more.
Just one note on our last TME is EJ, right? So I after that meeting, I actually text EJ. So I think one thing that EJ can improve is to be really present and not avoid what is happening within even though it's Zoom or in future physical room. So one of the great example is Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, when he announced that wrong Miss World, Miss Universe? Yeah, he go ahead and said that I'm wrong. So this is what they gave me. So the Miss Universe is Philippine or can't remember. So he actually addressed that problem. Yeah. So address the problem on the stage and then try to figure out how to bring it back livelier. Yeah.
Correct. It's very true, right? Especially as Toastmaster evening, right? You need to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Very important. Because you need to get the elephant out of the sight. If there is a background noise, acknowledge that. If there is a technical glitch, acknowledge that. Just say it out. Like, what? As you can see, there's a noise behind me. There's some renovation. I hope you guys are okay. Right? If you're not okay, just let me know. I will mute myself or whatever lah. Just say it, because people will always think like, people will always have your best interest at heart. So they'll think like, is Leonard struggling? Oh no, there is voice. But you acknowledge it, then it's out of the fight already. And this becomes more important in the physical Toastmasters of the evening. Temperature, right? Very cold, right? Say it out. Very hot, say it out. Very noisy, say it out. People walk in the room, a guest that walk in, a bit lost, acknowledge the not elephant, right? Acknowledge the guest. Hey, yeah, no, welcome. Please have a seat. Because when the guest comes in, everybody's attention is on the guest, and everybody will think, shit, nobody greet the guest. How? Then you lose connection. So you just, oh, hi, have a seat. Acknowledge, close, and then continue. This is also another TME skill. So as you can see, right, just really for a closure for the last 2 minutes, right, you can see Toastmasters of Evening is not a procedural officer. It is an expressive, anticipative, and agile role. And there's just so many space you can play if you know how to manage. And it's all about managing the situation in the moment and making the best out of that moment. Is it something that somebody say? Is it something that somebody do? Bring it out and elevate the whole situation. Or it could be something that you saw on the way to the meeting venue. Maybe on the way to the meeting venue, you see there's a huge party there. Then capture that, go to the meeting. Guys, we are here today. I know there's a huge party out there, but I'm sure we can do better than that, right? Right? Okay. Relevancy of a situation, right? You are the transformer of energy. Make sense?
Oh, yes, amazing tips. Thank you. I was gonna ask you, Chen, how did you learn all this? How did you become so good in this whole thing?
Yeah.
I do this.
You can
It's
sum
very
it up in
funny.
45 minutes.
So,
45
Juliana, to answer your question, please join our next month group intensive learning. So you'll learn how to actually use your voice, your body language, your facial expression is all interconnected. Trust me.
Okay, maybe if Juliana, you want an answer from me, I can give it in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yes.
Emulate other speakers, copy them, and discover yourself through other speakers. You will get the timing, you will get the rhythm, you get the feeling. So I love Guang, so I emulate a lot of Guang. Guang is one speaker, right?
Mhm.
And I love Danajaya. I emulate a lot of Danajaya. So in that moment when I need to do something, I'm actually channeling a part of Guang inside of me because I have reflected on that. Right. So I'd love to share with you more. You just WhatsApp me, yeah? Okay. Finish it.
Thank you.
60 seconds. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you,
got
Chen
60
Chen.
seconds.
So Juliana, next time, next TME,
Leave
Okay,
it.
start
Get
first,
ready
is it?
lah.
yeah, already.
Hey, but I think Suwan, you should promote the what later lah. I think.
Rachel will do that. Rachel will do that.
Okay. So Leonard, can I?
Leonard,
Start
let's
first,
go.
Okay.
Let's
I'll try
go.
to be energetic. Okay.
One.